Can paralyzed kids get back on their feet and walk? Well, see for yourself right now on Keeping Kids Healthy.
He was on top of the world. College student Matt Wyfels, a professional snowboarder, was on national television. He'd already won one event, finished second in another, and was on his way to winning a third. It was the best day of his life. Then, suddenly, it was the worst.
Literally before I even left the jump, I knew I was going to screw up. I wasn't very concerned because I'd taken big falls before. I tried to spot the ground. After I'd hit, I was sliding head first downhill. I wasn't stopping. I couldn't tell why. I don't know if I tried to sit up or just couldn't sit up, but then I asked them to take my snowboard off, and they said it's already off. I asked them to take my boots off. They said your boots are already off too.
Matt was paralyzed from the waist down. He was told he would spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. He'd never walk, never even stand again. Matt said, no, that will not happen.
I was either going to work hard and work my way back onto my feet and into walking, standing life, or I was going to end my life.
But inside this unassuming house in Provo, Utah,
Good boy, lock it up and turn around.
Matt found the miracle he was looking for. The Sit Tall, Stand Tall program, where Matt and his friend, Tucker Fife, are learning to walk.
Press it, lock it up, lock it up, lock it up.
Now. Hello, I'm Dr. Winnie King, and I'm here with some experts on childhood obesity in the lobby of the Children's Hospital at Montefiore, New York City. So you can expect to hear and see some activity in the background. I'm sure you've heard that the percentage of children who are overweight is higher than ever before. But did you realize that a third of today's kids are too heavy, and that number has quadrupled since the 1970s? What you may not know is that the long-term consequences of this trend are deadly. Some experts say that 200,000 people die each year as a result of obesity. But the great news is that the threat to your kids is preventable because there are ways to help your child fight this disease and to prevent it from developing in the first place. Here's Christina's story.
I was skinny at first, but I love food, sugary food. So I started to gain weight. Until then I was big and I was maybe, 30 pounds overweight or something like that. Everybody else is a popsicle stick. And I felt bad because I didn't look like they did.
Christina was a lonely girl, and I think that she watching too much TV.
Jump, butt, breathe.
The Energy Up program is something that I've been doing for 25 years, and it's a lifestyle empowerment program. It's kind of a cross between a workout and a revival meeting, but it's all about teaching the kids how to eat to empower themselves.
I started to lose weight, and certain people were noticing me, and they would tell me, oh my goodness, you're losing weight.
And Christina's with us now. Christina, how do you stay motivated to keep healthy?
I feel more able to do things, and my self-esteem is up, so that's basically what.
Now, how hard was it to get your mom to change the way she cooks?
It was actually very, very difficult. She was up for it at first. She was she'll try anything.
That's great. Dr. Michelle Calderoni is a pediatrician specializing in kids with obesity. And Dr. Calderoni, why are we seeing these incredible numbers of obesity of children?
There's two real reasons why kids gain weight. One is unhealthy eating, and the second is lack of physical activity.
Obesity is easier to stop before it starts. But how early? Well, wait till you see what one Head Start preschool class is doing. Jim Bunn has that story.
What you're looking at here is a unique effort to keep kids from getting fat in the first place.
The anecdotal comments coming back from the parents were very clear. The children were going home and asking their parents for healthy foods.
The percentage of overweight kids has more than doubled in the last 20 years. It's up to us parents to help our kids get moving and get healthy again. To help us tackle the challenge is none other than NFL Hall of Famer and 4-time Super Bowl winner with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Lynn Swann. Now, Lynn is the chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports, and we couldn't be more pleased that you have joined us here today. What do you think is the reason why kids are not as fit as they used to be?
Well, I think it's because of the success of our society. You know, we no longer need this huge workforce to do manual labor.
You came from a family of 3 other boys. You were the youngest, and your mom named you.
My mother wanted a girl.
She wanted a girl. She wanted a girl, but she got someone who was very, very gifted and talented. And part of that came from your taking dance classes when you were younger.
She put me in dance classes because she wanted all of us to be active. And she put me in dance classes because I was not a very good athlete when I was growing up. And dance was wonderful. Dance is one of the greatest forms of sport and exercise you can find. And it's not usually very competitive. You do it because you enjoy it.
I want to introduce Maggie Zaberto. Now, she is a pre-kindergarten gymnastics instructor. Let's get our kids. We've got Kimberly and we've got Ryan. And you can show us what parents should be doing with their kids. Go right ahead.
Okay, Kimberly, come on out. You're going to go over here. Okay, this is something, a chest pillow pass you do in basketball. Pass it, go. 1, and you can go faster, 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 faster. Okay, now she's going to stand back to back. Okay, up and over, up here, baby, and under. See, and then she can get back at me and hit me in the head.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, while it may not seem strenuous, but you get the heart rate up.
Robert is a panther and he's a boy. He got black fur and blue eyes. And I met him in my dreams. Skateboard guy is 11 years old and lives in my pocket.
Now, what in the world were these kids talking about? The answer is they're talking about their imaginary friends. And would you believe that 2/3 of kids have them?
My imaginary friend is named Sean, and he comes to visit on the weekend. You can't see my own rocket that I made. It's very invisible. Do you know it has a jail and the bad guy inside it trapped? What I like about him is he tries his best on everything he does. And just what I don't like about him is nothing.
Dylan started to talk about his imaginary friend John about 3 weeks ago. And it just came out in the car that he asked me, did you know I have an imaginary friend?
He likes eggs. He likes to gobble them up.
He has lots of friends. They're all imaginary. Spaceships. The other day was the Nutcracker. He's protecting his room.
Well, Alex and Dylan are here with us in the studio, and they may not be alone. Now, Dylan, you told us in the video about your very special friend, John the Wolf, right?
Yes.
Why is he so special to you?
Because he can play basketball with me.
Is he invisible, or can you see him?
I can see him.
You can see him?
But no one else? No one else.
Does he want to be here on TV today?
Mm-hmm.
He does? So did he come? Is he here in the studio with us?
Uh-huh.
He is, so you can see him?
Uh-huh.
But where is he? I want to see him. Where is he?
He's over there.
He's over there?
Uh-huh.
Dylan and Alex's moms are here, along with psychology professors Stephanie Carlson and Marjorie Taylor, who have actually done extensive research about imaginary friends. And Marjorie, you know, we've heard these kids' stories about imaginary friends. Is this something that's typical for kids?
Yes, it's really common. So they start to create imaginary friends around 2.5 or 3. And then we followed them up to the age of 7 and found that about 65% of them at some point or another have created one. If you're afraid of something that happens and you're trying to deal with that, so a neighbor moves in with a scary dog, you can walk down the street with Laughing Tiger by your side and then you're not so afraid. And it's a much more adaptive thing to do than to stay home and be afraid to go outside. Or you can voice a fear to a parent. If you're afraid that maybe you go down the drain in the bathtub, you can say your imaginary friend's afraid of that and see what your mom or dad has to say about that.
It's a way to talk with your child and open up those lines of communication.
And parents are always wanting to know more about what's going on inside those minds.